it's Rita and Teddy Bear barking. Benji's sitting down below my feet. He's the smart one because he knows if he doesn't bark, he gets more treats, right? How are you this morning? It is already Tuesday, and boy, it's been a busy week. And like, what are you doing? Don't do that. It's been a pretty busy week. Anyway, this is hi Leslie. Good morning to everyone. Hi Cheryl. There's Gail, Loretta. Who else we got? Melinda, Louise, and Barbara. Oh, hi Barbara. And who else do we have? I thought I saw somebody that hadn't been in here for a while. And from Lynchburg, Virginia, there's Melinda. Hello, Melinda. And there's Diane, Laura Osterhout. Thank you for coming today. And Betsy. Betsy's the one that hadn't been in here for a while. So please all welcome back, Betsy. So this is our program, Create Crafting Adventures with Miss Rita and her friends, and you are my friends, and I thank you for that. This week is going to be a freebie week, it started off as a freebie week. Yesterday, what did we do that was a freebie? I forget, but we did a freebie. Today we're how am I doing? I'm doing okay. I'm happy, and everything is starting to fall into place for autumn. Like, my mom's really doing well in her program. She goes 5 days a week. I think she's only missed one day. She calls it her work. She's pretty happy. And then when she gets home, she like just kind of, she does her little crosswords and her coloring. She loves to color. So I gave her a big set of coloring pencils and a nice coloring book. So she's been fascinated with that. And then Santo is busy working on that big project on the South Shore. And today, Owen, who spent most of the summer in New Hampshire, is back, and now he's gone to work for Santo. And I hope that he somehow gets some of Santo rubs off on Owen, because Owen just does not, he likes to work like one day. And I'm like, in the real world, you can't just work one day. And then I'm feeling better. I'm still doing rehab, and I have to go see my surgeon and my regular doctor and all of that. So just been really just bogged down with all that stuff, but feel pretty good because like my house is clean, and things are starting to get organized, So I hope you are taking advantage of this kind of, it's sort of a leisurely time of year, I think, because people are kind of doing all the same thing, and they just sort of, like leaving each other alone. All the big parties and everything are in the background, and now everybody's sort of getting ready for the fall, which is my favorite time of year, because I love to craft for the fall. I just absolutely adore it, better than even Easter and Christmas. And Easter this year I missed because I was in the hospital, but I have no intention of missing the fall. But we got to knock on wood, because every time I say something like that, So today, I had told you yesterday that we were going to do Craft with Sarah's freebie file, and I'm going to show you what I said that we were going to do. And it's right here. It's this autumn blessings. But as I started to cut it out, I kind of got inundated with all kinds of phone calls. I don't know why, but like all these phone calls, and I was on the phone, I was on hold, and then I was like having to call back, and people calling me back. And then I got to the place where I made the background for it, but I didn't see I didn't get to the point. I cut everything out, but I didn't get to the point where I could put all these stuff on here. And then I started thinking, you know what? I don't think I'm following the directions clearly. So I wanted to show you something. If you are going to be cutting this, which we're going to be doing on Thursday, I want to just make sure when you download this, let's see if I can't find it. Okay. So when you download it, you go and find this with Sarah. I think it's called, where is it? Season's Greetings. fall sign. It's called Fall Sign Craft with Sarah. And there is underneath there an assembly guide, and it's super useful, but only if you're putting it together. I ended up, so it's like a 6-page full color thing. If you don't have the ink in your machine, you don't have to print that off, but you can follow all of this because once I got all my pieces cut out, I'm like, okay, how do I put this together? So I started putting together the back, which was the easy part, and then I started trying to figure out each of the flowers there. Now, the other thing that I want to mention here about this is that there are like various shades of yellow, and if you don't have a lot of different yellow, what I would suggest is that you start thinking of like cream and like a light brown. If you don't have all the different, I think there were like four different shades of yellow. So I happen to have a couple of variations of yellow, but I was like, if I were going to be doing this and I didn't have all this color, I think it would really confuse me. So think in terms of like things that are kind of like yellow, like cream or like a beige, and that will work. And then save your bright yellows for things such as this as your sunflower, like the top of the sunflower. So maybe like this, you'd want to use cream or something like that. And don't feel bad about going off track from what it was designed. They designed it, and designers are really smart and creative, but that doesn't mean that you're not as creative and that you can't make your own substitutions or changes or whatever. And that's where I got to today. So today, get rid of this. Okay, so today I thought that I would make this really cute project that I saw. So over the weekend, I was going through so many papers, and what ends up happening is people send me pictures, especially because my dogs, I'm in sort of this corgi club, and people at Christmas send pictures of their corgis and stuff. I know it's kind of weird, but one year I think I had several hundred pictures that I taped all over my kitchen. It was so fabulous. And so I was going through them, and oftentimes I'll find like an envelope later after the fact. And so I was opening up and I'm looking at these little pictures and pictures of my dogs and everything. And I was thinking, I really wish there was a way that I could display some of these smaller pictures that I'm going to cut out. And so I found this at Simply Crafty SVG. Yes, Corgis rule, right, Babs? Babs, you're part of that card club, right? And they usually like those long, like postcardy kind of cards, and a lot of great pictures and stuff like that. So anyway, I was kind of, as I always do, sort of just jumping around on the internet all weekend. And I found under Simply Crafty SVGs, you spell that all out, .com, simplycraftysvgs.com. They have a ton of freebie files, which, this week is freebie week. So when you go there, you can do shop, and then you can actually go to the left-hand side and you'll see freebies right there. This particular one that we're going to do is actually at the top of the whole search engine, but just if you want to look at all the freebies, and they do have quite a few, I think it's over 100, you can go ahead and have a look if you click on it on the left nav bar. Some really cute stuff here. Some of it might look, if you're used to like Dreamy Tree SVG cuts, some of this might look a little bit like a little basic, but remember, you can change it up. So here's what I came up with, this photo pop-up. I'm just going to show it, there's a lot of versatility with this. So, and that's what I mean by basic. I don't mean anything negative about it, but like basic in that you can add your own details into this. So when I started doing this, I'm like, you know what? I have a lot of these vintage images that I happen to save when I'm cruising around on the internet, and I'm going to show you on my iPad what I'm talking about. So I ended up having quite a bit of like images that I save. So here we go. Sometimes I'm just like cruising. Where's my pen? Sometimes I'm just cruising around the internet and I type in something and I say, okay, what about vintage? So this is what I typed in, vintage let's do Halloween because we did the autumn. Vintage Halloween images. Now, this is great because vintage usually means that they were done like way back in the 30s, the 40s, and you don't have to be so ultra concerned about copyright infringement. Although, if there is copyright on there, you know, obviously do mind the copyright. But when you do vintage, you seem to get quite a bit. So, look at here, vintage images. This is in Google, and you can see here there's images. If you click on here, you can click on images, and they'll give you all these images. Now some of these are just plain old people found the images and then they copied them. So let's have a look at like this one. Look at this one. This cat flying in the air with jack-o'-lantern ghosts, and then there's even a, you know, oops, I touched that, sorry. And there's even a full moon with a witch in there. So sometimes images are copyright and you have to be very careful, but for the most part, a lot of these vintage images are pretty much free public domain type of thing. So when I'm looking on my iPad and I run across an image that I really like this one, what I will do is I'll click and hold onto it, and then when I do that, I can see if down here, if it says save to photos, okay? So I can do this, save to photos. And then I'm gonna get out of here and go back to my photos so you can see what I'm talking about. And so today's photo, yeah, here's my photo. Definitely check the quality of the photo. Now this is obviously bigger than what we're gonna be using, but check the quality of the photo because you see this was done with like kind of like a point, like a gradient type coloring bit, and may or may not work with your printer. But I end up actually saving so many of these images that sometimes they don't work and sometimes they do. So I just kind of like save them into my iPad. So let's get back to my project itself. So what I decided to do, instead of using the what's the word that I'm saying? Instead of using my iPad, I'm going back to my computer. Sorry, I've been having a little bit of like a brain freeze on some words this week actually. And instead of using pictures, which you can also use pictures, that I figured I'd use these little vintage images. Now this is the original file size. I don't know if you can really see it too well, but it's this really adorable kid that my mother once told me I looked like that as a kid, and that makes a little sense to me because look, she got a spoon in, or is it a knife? Spoon. She's looking at that pumpkin pie, and I was like a freak for pumpkin pies when I was a kid. So, and my hair, yeah, about the same. I always had short hair. And so, so this is what I decided to create from this file. So you're going to download this file, and you're going to bring it up in Design Space. I'm going to show you where I did that. But then as I went along, I started thinking, you know what, this could be so much bigger, because this was designed to be able to, you know, fold under here like this, you see, and it can go into an envelope. And you could even on the back put a little sentiment, maybe put a little square of white in there, and you can do that. And then when the person gets it, they just sort of pop it into place like this. It has to go into these little places like this. Hi, Eileen. And that's how it goes. So you could put pictures on both sides. You could put a sentiment on the back, whatever. But so this is me doing this. And by the way, I was trying to do it last night with my no glasses. Do you know how that is? I wear my glasses all the time and I couldn't even read them. So so I thought, you know what, this could be bigger. I could make this bigger because it's really rather small. So then I changed up the size and I chose this image with the different color background, and it works perfectly. I'm going to show you how I did that. So this will also go into an envelope. It's quite a bit bigger than this, and so you can do it either way, which is really cool. And I heard, I saw there somebody was asking, I think it was Loretta, about joy. Now this could be done with joy. However, these images here, you would have to print separately on your printer. The Joy does not do any print then cut, okay? But these other things could be cut with the Joy, and if you don't change the size of it, would work, you know? So let me go ahead, and I'm just gonna save this because I'm gonna show you how to do this from scratch. Okay, we'll do new. And as I did save this file onto my computer, I'm going to go to upload, okay, which is over here on the left, right? And then I'm going to do this little tab that says upload images or upload image. Okay, I click on browse, and I'm going to go to my downloads file. Now this one is from the Simply Crafty SVG, right? And it is called, what's it called? Photo pop-up card right here. Okay, so under photo pop-up card, because I have that selected, I'm going to choose SVG files. And you will see that there is a file at the top. It says complete files. That's what I'm going to use. I could also do 1, 2, 3, all 3 of these, but it would mean 3 commands, right? So I'm going to actually choose this photo pop-up card complete. I have 2 choices. I can do either solid or complete. I'm choosing complete, and then I'm going to hit open. And that comes in like that. So let's go ahead and bring that in to our fresh canvas. Now you see, there it is. And what this is composed of, if you don't mind me point my fingers, but this piece here is the main piece for the actual pop-up mechanism. These 2 pieces here are for your image. So for me, I have images that are, what are these, vertical? No, these are vertical, not horizontal. Like this, vertical, right? So she gave us 2. 1 for vertical, 1 for horizontal. These little blue parts here are for decoration, and then this white piece is for our picture. Okay, so so once we bring it in, we then have to ungroup it and make sure this bit is attached using the paper clip. And now, after I have been like looking for images and what have you, I'm going to go back to upload again. And I'm going to do upload images from here, and then I can go ahead and bring in my photos. So you'd have to go in here and see your photos. Let's see, my photos are always like, I don't organize them. They're a complete mess. So I don't know how long it's going to take for them to show up. So, but that's what you would do. This is how you would do it. So the other thing that you can do, let's see, if you already uploaded it, okay, where am I? Brain, help me now. Okay, if you've already uploaded it, then you'll see all your recent uploads. So here I can go view all. So let me just explain to you how I do it. You can come up with your own easier way. So I have an iPad and I have my desktop. I don't sit at my desktop all the time, but I like to craft at my desktop because I have a nice good space that I like to craft at. So when I'm like, say, watching TV on the couch or whatever, or I'm doing whatever, and I have my iPad and I'm browsing for images, I will then save it to my photos, and then I can go ahead and upload it. I'll show you real quick how I do that. So let me just come down here so you can see. So here is, let's see. Okay, so this is an image I found on the internet. There's the one we just found, right? So I'm going to actually upload this to my, what do you call it? My Design Space app. So let me show you how to do that. All right. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to open up my Design Space app, and let's just do a plus, right? Replace. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to, let me see, I get this in the, got a lot to tell you today. Woo. I'm going to go hit upload, right? And once I have the picture on my photo library in my iPad, then I go here to select from photo library. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to choose this. And it asked me if I want to remove the background. In this case, I do not, because I want the entire thing. I want to see that moon with the witch and everything. And then I hit apply. And obviously this is a print and cut. So you do have to click on the print and cut part so that you have that square around it, and you can name it whatever you want. So I can name this pumpkin cat ghost. I don't know. I don't know. Jose. Okay. And then I hit upload. All right. Is it uploading? Yes, it's uploaded. And you'll see down here it says added to collection. Now, so this is me, you know, in the living room just doing these. Okay, I want to do that. Now I can actually come back. This is the beauty of cloud, okay? So I can come back and I can go, let's go back to our canvas. And I can go to upload. And I can view all my upload. I hope this is going to work. Yep, there it is. There it is. So there's our kitty cat on pumpkin cat ghost image. So we're going to do add to canvas, and then we hit view. Okay. So this you'll feel so accomplished when you get this right, because it took me a little while, but you'll feel so super accomplished, you know, and it'll make you feel really really good. So anyway, it comes in at whatever size it comes in, but it's going to have to be the size of this square. So we, which is a 2 by 3. But remember too that we also have this square here. So in this case, it's going to fit like horizontally. So it would be a 3 by 2, right? So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to change the size. I have to unlock it, and I'm going to do 3 inches for the width and 2 inches for the height. Now I know it looks small, but that's just because I have a big screen, honestly, to tell you the truth. But if you brought it over here, you'll see that it covers that piece, okay? And this piece we might keep just as we can put our stamp, our sentiment or something on that. And then we have this piece, which is attached, so that has all of the score lines, and then this piece, which is the decorative paper. So then you would go ahead and cut this out. You'd save it, obviously, before you did it. Now, I'm going to show you that, but I'm going to show you an additional step, okay? You could choose, okay, I'm going to stop here, Rita, and I'll just cut it out this way, and you'll get this size. But if you do it this other way, you'll get this size, okay? So the first thing I want to do is take all of my pieces, gather them all up, and then I'm going to choose right up here, a line. Okay, I'm going to choose a line center. All that's doing is bringing all my pieces in together as a group. And now, if I change the size of anything, everything gets changed with it. Okay, so I'm going to group it. And now I'm going to take a look. So my size shows 9.2, right, by 7.5 inches high, which means that if you have 8.5 by 11 inch cardstock, you can cut this with the 8.5 by 11 inch cardstock. Okay, it's slightly different if you're doing with the Joy, and we could talk about that later. But so we're just pretending that we have regular, like either Explore 2, Air 2, Maker 3, Explore 3, all those. Okay, so now they're grouped, and that means when I make a change in the size, I'm making a change in the size of all the pieces. This is a really important concept that people often overlook. And I know when I started, I'd be like, well, I wanted the piece to be this size, and so I change it. You have to change everything so that they all fit together. So this is how you do it. So you group them together, and then I'm just going to tug them out until it hits 11.5 inches. And that way I can use my 12 by 12 paper on it. So now I'm all set, okay? And I'm going to hit make it. Okay, hold on. I'm getting an error message. Let's ungroup this, and let's see why I'm getting this error message. So let's try it again. Make it. Yeah, it worked. Okay, so the first layer is my print and cut. If you've never done print and cut and you're afraid, but you know how to use your printer to do images, you can do that. You don't have to necessarily do that. Also, if you have a Joy, it wouldn't be able to do this part. But what you're going to do basically is print these onto this paper. It's kind of a waste of paper. So if I were doing this, I'd probably change it to like maybe 4, and maybe do like 4. And that way I'm getting good use out of all my paper. But no, 4 is not going to work. So I can hit 3. You know what I mean? So, but for this case, we're just doing 1. So here's what we're going to do. Now you can put cardstock in printers, and I do it all the time. So, so I use my 8.5 by 11 inch white 65-pound cardstock in my printer, and then I set it for print in a larger, a print in a better quality, and I'll show you that when we get there. So we're having a look, and so this is going to be our main piece. We're going to use a solid color for this, and this is going to be our little pieces that decorate it. We're going to use a pattern paper that we've coordinated, and then this piece, remember this piece? This is just a piece to help us if we want to use a stamp or something on the back. Okay, and so when we continue, when we get to the print then cut version, what we're going to do is we're going to send this to our printer. So here's a couple things. One, you do have to have a printer, a color printer, and it has to be connected to Design Space. There's a whole process for doing that. And you also will have to what's it called? Collaborate your image so that way it comes out fine. And then when you go and hit send to printer, you'll see this little dialog box, but it's not the same dialog box that you have when you're using a printer. So I use this one here. It says use system dialog, right? And then I hit print. But don't be afraid, because I actually have to go here and minimize this to see my print dialog box. I'm going to choose this HP DeskJet, which is the only printer I have right now that's working. And I'm going to choose better or best quality. And then I hit print. And then I can go back and I can hear my printer engaging. So I can come back here. And then when I get my printout, which might take a few seconds, right? And so when I get my printout, I'm going to then put it on my mat, and it's going to cut out around it. But I do need to choose what paper is going to cut. So I'm going to choose medium cardstock. As I told you, I put medium cardstock white into my printer. And then I'm just going to put more pressure, because that's just me. And my printout just popped on the ground. Okay. So there is my cutout, and you notice it's a little, I don't know, handles or whatever, bar, whatever they call it, print on there. So I'm going to put this on to my mat like this. See? And then I'll just bring it over here. It's set for medium cardstock. Make sure it's on my mat well. And then I'm going to load it. And then when I hit the button for it to cut, you're going to notice like a whole thing that goes on where there are, and I'm glad it's actually kind of dark today, so you're going to see the light. So when I hit this, that we have these sensors in these machines, not the Joy, remember, but you see those sensors, this light here, and it's going around and looking at these squares or the handles or whatever you want to call them. So once it's done measuring that, then it will go ahead and cut all around. Now remember though, if you're new to print and cut, there are a couple of actions that you have to do before you can do print and cut, and that includes calibrating your machine to whatever your printer comes out. It's a little time consuming, but once you've done it, it's done. You don't generally have to do it every single time. Okay, so now it's going to go ahead and cut this out. All right, so I'm going to see if it's cutting it out. Yay! And that's it. Take it out. and it did not cut out the correct way. I might need to do something here, but it should have cut out all the way around. But that's the beauty of live video, right? It did not work. And in fact, it actually ripped the paper too. So good thing I did this ahead of the game, ahead of the time. So let's go here. So you didn't have to see me struggling with, oh, what happened? I have to go recalibrate, blah, blah, blah. All right, so here I'm going to show you both sizes. There's the little one, and here is, let's do the big one first because it's easier to see, I guess. So here are our pieces, remember? So I got this piece, I've got this piece, and I decided to do it in my favorite green. It's like an aqua green. And here are my two little images. And these ended up being a little bit more than the 2x3. Let's just see. So it's like 2.5 by 1, 2, 3 3/4. That's how it ended up go. Yes, right, Pat, right? Oh my God. All right, so there are my images, and these are my pieces. This piece is for the image here. And then these are for my decorative edges, which I hope I can find all of them. I'm just wound up like a top today. I don't know what the deal is. I'm happy. I don't mind it. I do get tired in the afternoon, and then so I go and it's like my little lie down time, which is fine. Nobody bothers me. That's what I really like. Actually, yesterday when Sanjo came in, he saw me. He hadn't seen me all morning, right? Because he doesn't live here, right? So, so when he came in, he saw me at my desk, and he's like, "That's what I like to see," because I've, really struggled with energy levels, and now I feel like I'm getting back on track, So I'm folding all of these areas. I fold them both ways just because I like to have a nice give to them on both ways. It kind of lends to a more crisp project, So there you go. And then I'm going to take my little pieces, and I'm going to put my little pieces on here. Oh, bye, Eileen. Nice to see you. And then I got these cute little, I don't know. This was from a paper pad that I got maybe 10 years ago. Let me show you the paper pad. I just literally walked into my storage area, and I just grabbed one paper pad. This is called the Modern Meadow Stack. Actually, and it says limited edition, but I've seen it on sale. This is by DCWV, which stands for Die Cuts with a View. See that? It's actually also, I believe, owned by American Crafts. So I just used like a little bit of piece here. Okay. So now I'm just going to take and glue these little pieces on here for the decorative part. There we go. Like a little room around it. If you're going to be real precise about it, I suppose you could use a ruler to line it up, but I never do, because I think there's something to be said about slight errors or slight mistakes that we make in our projects. I know everyone, I want to be perfect, but it's like it's impossible to be perfect. So embrace the imperfection of life. It's a Japanese system or like lifestyle called a wabi sabi. I've mentioned this before. Wabi sabi, if you look it up, it's WABI SABI, wabi sabi, and it means basically it's like a system where you actually, if you're a craftsman, you actually put imperfections in, because we don't want to presume that anybody is perfect. I just love that. I read about it like, I don't know, 20 years ago, and I thought, hey, you know what? That's great, because they would be making this pottery that was so beautiful, and they would put a crack in it to remind themselves that they are not perfection. And I just love that. So whenever I do crafting, I always think, wabi sabi, it's going to be imperfect because it's not made by a machine. It's made by your hands. So I think that's what I like about it. So here we go. I'm going to put these pieces. Now other people might say, well, no, it has to be perfect, but not for me, not for me. All right, so now we got this all done up, right? And we got our pieces on there. So bear with me because I've only been practicing this for a couple of days. So we're going to take and we're going to fold this in half like this. And then we open it up. We can open it up on the bottom side. And we're going to glue on this side where these handles are. And so here you go. Oh, hey, by the way, you know, a lot of people, they buy like they have to buy, remember we were talking about pins? Well, I found actual stainless steel sewing pins instead of having to rebuy these bottles. So I found sewing pins. I'm going to let you guys know how that works out, because sometimes I've used other sewing pins and they rust because it's like stainless steel. So, and stainless steel shouldn't rust. So there you go. Anyway, so I'm going to then fold this down here, press down. Make sure you got a nice, nice good catch to the glue, like this. Even on this side. And then we're going to open it up. I hope I did this right. Did I do this right? Please tell me I did this right. Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, here we go. All right, so then you're going to open it up like this. Please tell me I did this right. Boop. Yeah, I did. Okay, now we're going to take our image. I don't know which one. I just love this one. I think I'm going to have to use this one. And then we're going to take the piece, that cutout piece. You see it has a little tab on there. So we're going to glue this onto this. And if it's not quite perfect when you put it on, you can always trim it with scissors. And in fact, the creator of this design actually did this part with scissors, because she said, I don't really want to do print and cut and all that stuff. So if you ended up with like an image that was kind of not quite right. Now you can also, I didn't cut it out, but you can also put that little piece in the back here and either write or stamp your message on there. And then we're going to go ahead and just tuck this in like this. And I'll kind of flip it over a little bit. And then we're going to glue right here. So that way that pops up. It's very much like a pop-up card, but you're just using your own image instead of like an SVG. Where did I get the pins? Or are you asking somebody else? I got the pins on Amazon. I can get you a link. Okay, Pat? Okay. So then we got to go this way with it. You see, like this. All right. Make sure it's all folded nice. And then, all right. And then we're going to fold it so that we have this edge here, and then we're going to glue this tab, just this tab. All right. And make sure it's all like nice and even there. And that it catches, and do the same thing on this side. Now the first couple times you do this, you're going to be like, am I doing this right? Which is what I was just doing earlier. And that's okay. And I will tell you that there is a nice video on Simply Crafty SVG site that tells you how to do it. It's a little long, but you can just fast forward. So let me see. Did I do this right? Please. Oh no, maybe I didn't. So you're gonna. I didn't do it right. I should have. I know what I did wrong. Okay, we'll do it differently. We'll do it differently because I did it the wrong way. All right, let's do this one instead. I am such a goober. I'm such a goober. All right, let's do this one instead. Because it has to be. I should have done it this way because I want this part to be on the bottom. And so I can't. I have to do it this way. Oh my, you guys, why do you deal with me? I don't know. Anyway, so this will end up being, this part here, I get a little confused about. Oh, okay. So it's going to be like this. I want to make sure I do it correctly because then when I push it out, okay, so this is supposed to be, here we go. it's a pop up. So it's supposed to be like this. This comes up, this comes down like this, and then it can, okay, so it's a pop up. So I did it wrong. I put the glue on the other side, and that's where I messed up. So let's just go ahead and fix this. Good thing I cut out 2 of them. So here we go. And this piece goes in here like this. And I want to make sure I do this right, so you guys will be like, oh, Rita, you messed it up. Oh, what's wrong with you? But yeah, this is the way it's supposed to go. So that when it comes up like this, see? I'm going to do it before I end up gluing anything. When it comes up like this, your image comes up, and then your little hanger things are on there. So let's do that. Let me just glue this part here. I know I didn't do all the frilly stuff. Sorry for that. But just so you can get an idea of the mechanism. All right. And then these pieces will then get glued here. Yeah. Because look, see? This is the way I should have looked at my original. So this is the way it's supposed to look. With your image up here, there's your base, and there's your bottom part, okay? So image up there, base, bottom part. So let's just glue this part together. So I messed up the big one. So what? Wabi sabi. Oh well. All right. So there it is. So the image should be up here. The base should be down here, and then on the sides here. Oh, thanks, Pat. Yeah, I know. I haven't used that term in a while. I don't know why I'm just starting to use it now, but I am a goober. Okay, so once you have this correct, now remember you'll have your image and everything. And then all you'd have to do is you just press the sides in, right? And then on the sides, we're going to just put this little tabby thing right on in, like that. And it might take a little bit to train this. It did my original one. I had to train it a little bit. But there you go. There it is. So let's have a look at this one, which I did do right. And then we would just go ahead and press up on the tab, right? That, and then you have this adorable little, and it could be anything you want. You want to put a picture of your dog there, do it. And you know, put your own little things here or whatever. But I just thought this is kind of cool. I know, like when I used to receive cards, I would be like, oh, how do I hang? Some cards that we make, they don't do so well standing up. And I love this because I could put it at my desk and I could just be reminded, oh, isn't it cute? You know, so cute. So I'll go back and fix the other one because I can't have something be wrong. But let's see, how would I fix this? I think I would have to undo here. I might end up having, yeah, I might have to. All right, I don't want to take up too much of your time doing this, but if I get to it right. So see what I did here? I put this on an upward. I didn't have it correctly done there, so I might have to do a little surgery here. And it's called goober surgery. Goober! I'm a goofy goober. You know, this morning, actually, I was getting ready for the show. I like to watch, like, little shorts or videos when I'm doing that, getting ready or whatever. It's kind of a new hobby of mine. You know, takes up the time that you know, tasted breakfast, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, I was watching Pee Wee Herman, and as you guys know, probably know, we lost Pee Wee Herman to cancer. And he was, whether you like him or not, was one of the most creative people that I've ever seen on stage. Just really very clever. He had a great persona, and he just was so childlike. And I think I just really liked that. And I was watching the David Letterman thing, and I was thinking, you know, a lot of people, you know, oh, he's so weird or whatever, and then he had like some issues as he got older. But I thought, you know, hey, everybody will always remember him because he was just so unique, you know. And okay, this is the way that I'm going to do it, right? It's not the way, yeah. And I was just thinking about him, like, you know, we all should be like living our lives, not to be like normal. I mean, yeah, we want to be normal, like we want to fit in, but also stand out and be different. Like you guys, any time in the future, if you ever hear the word goober, you're gonna hear, you're gonna think of me. I hope, you know, because I use it, you know. So all right, so this is not great right here, but I did fix it so that I have. I think I fixed it. Yep, so that I have this part here. Did I do it right? Please tell me I did it right. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I didn't. Maybe this is supposed to be pushed down here a little bit more. Yeah, yeah, maybe. No, I might have did it wrong. But anyway, be patient with yourself. Be patient with be patient with yourself. I love Pee Wee Herman, and I'm so sad that he has passed. He was one of the funniest people I have ever known. Anyway, if you have a chance today, go to YouTube and look up, because it's so playful. Look up the David Letterman with Pee Wee Herman. He's just making like an appearance, and he goes on and he brings this whole box of props with him, and it's just so funny. He's like, and he reads from a newspaper. Just hilarious, just really clever, unique stuff that you're not going to hear anywhere else because he's passed. So you know, and we need those kinds of people in our lives. So so that is today's program. Let me show you what we're going to do tomorrow. Remember, Thursday, we're going to do the Miss Sarah, the Crafting with Sarah one. So this is today. This is what we did, which is simply Crafty SVG. Okay. And so you can get that at simplycraftysvgs.com, and it's under freebies, and it's called the photo pop-up card, and it is free. And then if you want to look for images like I showed you, you can do that. All right. And then on Thursday, we're doing this Craft with Sarah. It's also craftwithsarah.com, and you do need to like sign up or have like an account, but don't feel obligated to pay for anything unless you want to, you know. Don't feel obligated to pay for anything because she's offering these for free. She has like a craft club, and you can buy the individual SVGs. That's fine. So that's on Thursday. And then tomorrow, we're going over to my3dsvg.com. my3dsvg.com. It's not 3dsvg.com. That's Dreaming Tree. This one's called my3dsvg.com. And this woman that creates this specializes in those layered designs. And every month, I think it's every month, she gives you a freebie. And you can just go up here and in the search, and you can just type in freebie. Now, you could also buy her files. They're really pretty. I think they might actually also be in Design Space now. And here it is. There is the August freebie, which is really cool. Let's click on it so we can have a look. All right, and this is part of her little blog post. So she posts this in August, and so we're going to find that, and then we're going to download it right here. It says createelementary.zip. So it's going to come in as a zip file, which your computer should open up depending on what kind of computer you have. All right, so you're going to use this little down arrow key, and you're going to download it. All right, and then you would go ahead and we'll go on. But that's what we're going to do tomorrow. Okay, is this my 3D SVG create. I guess just create. Look, it has all these cute things like glue and scissors and brushes and crayons and markers and stuff. Just really cute, and it will be fun. I believe it goes into a 9x9. A 9x9 shadow box frame, which you can buy at Michael's. If you don't have that frame, there is a way that you can just like kind of just stick them all together, and then you can like hang it from there if you want to. Or you can actually create paper frames. But the ones at Michael's are pretty inexpensive. And what I found is that when you buy them, you can change out, like swap out what's inside of them for each season. So if you wanted to do like spring, summer, winter, fall, or holidays or whatever, or if you wanted to create this for a teacher, you don't have to, but if you don't give it away, I guess, is what I'm trying to say is that you can swap it out. Okay. And they have on sale. So says Loretta. Okay. So says Loretta. Yes. So that's going to be for tomorrow. All right, everyone. That's me for today. I hope you found it interesting and enjoyable. I'm so glad that you could spend this time with us. I hope if you haven't jumped in on the chat that you will next time, because what a fantastic group of people, just lovely, lovely people from all over the US and Canada. Sometimes we even get people from overseas, and just jump on it. Actually, I'll leave you with a funny story. After I saw Santo, I was doing the show, and so he decided he was going to log in. So he was logging in, and then he told his friend Maria about it, and so she was listening, and I've only met her a couple of times, but she said to Santo, Rita sounds so wonderful. She sounds like she got great energy, and she talks so fast, and English isn't her first language. And she was just really enjoying the show yesterday. And I know there are some people that lurk. And so that's how I found out, the people that lurk. So if you're lurking and you want to jump in and just say hi, where you're from, feel free to do that. And also feel free to subscribe to my channel, because that really does help me. And I'm trying to get to 25,000 subscribers real soon, I hope. All right, everybody, say hello next time. Yes, thank you. And Loretta's saying hello to Santa and Maria. And the thing was cute about Santa was like, he's in his favorite store, I call it the toy store, Home Depot. And he's just listening on his headphones to me as he's shopping. And I never thought, wow, I'm kind of background music. I just thought that was kind of funny. Anyway, that was like a funny little story. Anyway, thank you guys. Have a great day. Even if it's not shining sunny outside, just put a smile on your face and go about your day, and try to look for ways to be unique in a pleasant way. Unique. Hi, Joanne. Hi, Josie. We got some people saying hello. And, try to be unique and creative and interesting, because, we all have just this one life, and there are a lot of like kind of boring downtime parts of our life. So I just love to seek anything that's creative, new, and exciting, and uplifting. And part of that, it starts with me being creative, new, and uplifting. And so it can be for you too. All right. We'll talk to you later. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.